right, my friend, we are back for our third video, learning together, taking my top 3 tools. All of the tools that I share in the tool set to design your best life are amazing. But the 3 that I wanted to focus on were number 1, mindset, which hopefully you saw. Number 2, talked about connection, building that connection with yourself. And we did a mindfulness practice. Today, we are going to talk about curiosity and the healing power of curiosity. So, as I probably shared before, I love this work so much. I worked with a coach 15 years ago. He changed my life. I ended up going back to get my master's degree. I've been teaching at Georgetown as a professor there in the coaching program, and I've coached hundreds of leaders and just incredibly purpose driven individuals, especially a lot of high achieving women that really want to make an impact in the world. That's one of my favorite things to do. And I pulled my favorite tools that I know can help you to design your best life and to be your You-est you. And so I wanted to go a little bit deeper into them just to give you a little bit more, just a little bit more tangible ways of looking at these. And also, hopefully, this is helpful for you to really digest and make it your own. And so we're going to talk about curiosity. This is such an important lens to put on. So just like if you have glasses like me, you have your lenses, right? We look through life, we have lenses we're not even thinking about. Using curiosity is one of the best ways to change your entire outlook in your life. And as you hopefully have seen in the other 2 videos, one of the things I've asked you in each one is to really imagine a year from now and to think about, to feel into, like, what would you love? Where would you love to be? What would you love to be doing? How would you love to feel? Who would you love to be partnering with, or maybe dating or married to, or how do you want life to feel and to be? Remember, you are the author. You are the author of your life for sure. We all are. We just often get into autopilot and we forget. So curiosity actually is not just like a lovely thing to talk about and looking at different questions. I've actually done a podcast episode on this because it's super powerful for shifting your patterns in your brain. I'm going to show you some examples, but today we're going to really focus on how to start using questions, really juicy, in-depth questions that can help you to start shifting those beliefs, stories, and things that are really not serving you. So just to share a story, I coached a woman. She had ended up getting let go at her job. It was a little bit of a nightmare for her. She had 2 young kids. Like, this was not something she wanted, right? And I just remember, this is a few years ago. She was really, really upset about it. And I was working with her, and she was just feeling a lot of frustration. I would even say maybe a little victimhood, which can happen, especially when we feel like the rug is pulled out under us. So just in coaching her and working with her, I was like, listen, here's the thing. You get to decide how you are going to view this, what you're going to take from it, and what's happening next. Like, you get to decide what's next from here. It doesn't have to be, it's upsetting. We don't want to bypass that, but using curiosity, using some really good questions, she ended up doing a 180. It was amazing. She ended up going back to school. So she did end up going back she did both art and coaching. She does kind of a mix between kind of like an art therapy, but she uses coaching and art. And it was amazing. She totally shifted her life, turned her life around because of these questions that she asked herself. So I just want you to know. And now today she has a business that she loves, that's doing really well. And she has more energy. She feels better in her body. She feels better in her life. And, losing that job was awful. Yet with the curiosity, with these questions I'm going to show you, everything turned out way better than before. So we always are in the driver's seat. Sometimes we forget that. So I really want you to think about something right now, something that is happening that you would love to change. Maybe it is your career. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's something to do with a relationship. It could be with yourself, it could be with your partner, your spouse, somebody in your life. Maybe there's a question that you've been really sitting with. Maybe it's financial. So I want you to really think about something that's been a little bit overwhelming or upsetting or frustrating. I want you to think about that. Grab your pen and paper. It's going to be a working session together, my friend. Grab that pen, grab your paper, and I want you to write down, what is it that is upsetting you, that feels like it's not fair, that's frustrating, that's overwhelming. So write that down. Give you a moment. All right. And what I'm going to do is we're going to just go back to that tool set. So again, let me just show you again in case you're joining us for the first time. Here's the tool set to design your best life. You can put your name on it. There's a little letter from me. This is going to be your overview. We're on day 3, curiosity for greater happiness and peace. As you'll see, there's a whole other 4 tools that I'm not going to be going into depth, but are certainly here for you. We did mindset already. There's a reflection form. We just did connection. And then today we are focusing on curiosity. So this is going to be your challenge, right? We're doing it now together, and I'm going to encourage you to try to do this as often as you can. So I want you to think of this of something that is just really upsetting you. Or it could be, for example, I just had my 48th birthday. I know this happened recently. I looked in the mirror and was like, oh my gosh, I look a lot older. That was like, first of all, not the nicest thought to myself, but that's how I felt. Right. And I was like, okay, let's get curious about that. So I use that as an example. Maybe you feel that way, maybe not. And so the idea is, the challenge is going to be for you to pause and get curious. So here's what we're doing on a scientific level. Our brain is a serial processor. It can only focus on one thing at a time. Okay. So when you decide, I'm going to get curious rather than start to feel overwhelmed or stressed or worry, you're changing your emotional state, you're changing your intention, you're changing your focus, and this can really help your body, the way it responds. So I might ask myself, right, when I said, oh gosh, I feel like I look so old, right? That's kind of how I was feeling. So some of the questions, maybe you're feeling like you feel stuck in your job, right? Okay, these are the questions. There's way more, but here are some great questions. These are some of my favorites. Number 1, my friend, I want you to ask yourself right now, what is the learning here? Like, what might you be learning from this? So for me, in all honesty, I'm sharing vulnerably. I was like, you know what? No matter what I look like, my soul is infinite and it's whole, perfect, and complete. And that's my belief, at least. And I'm going to tune into that aspect of me. So the learning is to focus on my higher self, my soul, not my outward appearance. That helped me a lot. What's the learning? You're stuck in your job. You have a health concern. You're in a relationship that doesn't feel aligned. What's the learning? Okay. I want you to really tune into that. Number 2, how might I say that in a more proactive way? Right. So for me, saying I look so old, I could say something like, you know, wow, I have smile lines from smiling so much. How cool is that? How cool is it that I can stand here and look in the mirror and be standing on my 2 legs, my 2 feet, right? So how might you say that in a more proactive way? Maybe it's something like, this job is not ideal, and I'm grateful that it's bringing an income. So you want to look at how you can shift how you're saying it. The third question, how might this be happening for my greatest good? I love this question. So I want you to ask yourself that question with whatever it is that you're dealing with. How might this be happening for your greatest good? So for me, it's like, oh yeah, it's not about appearance anyhow. What I really care about is, how am I being of service? How am I helping others? That's what matters to me. It's true. So, okay, I can have vanity at times. Yet what really matters is, am I shining light? Right? I'm wearing that today, right? Born to shine. I think we're all born to shine. We're all born to shine our highest gifts and highest self. Okay, number 4, what's an empowering way to see the situation? So I want you to think about whatever it is you wrote down. What is an empowering way to see the situation? How else might you look at this? Right? So really think about, what would be a new way to see this? Now, number 5, this is where, if you start practicing these questions, you're going to change your chemistry. Literally, you're going to change the way you are focusing in your brain, the way that you're emitting. You're going to emit less cortisol and adrenaline. You're going to bring in more dopamine, happiness, that happiness chemical, and you're going to start to feel more calm and peaceful. How might this be a hidden gift? That is the question you want to ask yourself. How might this be a hidden gift? And of course, there is room here to reflect. I'm hoping these questions are helpful. There are so many more, but I wanted to start with these 5. I think they're very, very powerful. Let me know, what did you notice? What insights, what reflections, what are some of the revelations you're having after using these questions? Tell you, you keep focusing on these kinds of appreciative, curious questions, you are going to change the way that your brain, your lens looks at life. And that is how, in a year from now, that is one of the ways you can start to design your best life. Now, of course, working with a coach, working with someone who can help you and be accountable, super helpful. Something that I've been doing for a long time. I always work with my own coach as well. However, you have the tools right now. You have the tools. And again, this tool set, this is no joke. There's so much in here. And I try to keep it digestible and actionable. So let me know what you think. Let me know what's helping you. I hope, my friend, that you enjoyed these 3 little deeper learnings about the top 3 tools that I wanted to teach you. And I hope that you do download your copy. I hope that you use it. If you have any questions, any reflections, you want to go deeper, please let me know. Please email. I would be honored. Sending my love to you. My intention is that this really will help you to step into your greatest power, your voice, your full self-expression, to design your best life, to be your you-est you, so that you, because you're also born to shine, you really are. I'm hoping this is helping you. Thank you. Thank you. Please let me know if you have any questions. Let me know how it's working for you. Lots of love. Mwah.